Hey everyone, hey, and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host, Tom Kwei here. Thanks for joining the show. As always, you can follow us at Battle Rap Resume. Get in touch with me, battleresume@gmail.com. If you want to support the show, you want to give back, you can leave us a review on iTunes. Patreon is there as well, patreon.com/Battle Rap Resume. Today we've got a guest from the early days. It's always fun to look back to those sort of salad days of UK Battle Rap. This guy was on WRCs 2006 and 2007, the qualifying rounds, some early battles in Jump Off, and beyond that, it always seemed to be judging on Don't Flop, always seemed to be around the periphery as well. Definitely excited to hear about those sort of movements as well. G-Dash, how's it going, man?
Yeah, man, it's all going good, man. I'm blessed, Tom. I'm blessed.
How did you start rapping? What do you remember the first rap song you heard? How did you start getting into that?
Nah, like you obviously culturally we're hearing rap music when we're growing up from young. So like the first rap song I proper vibe with and made a little bar to was Mace Feel So Good, because I bought the single. This must be we're talking 97 now, I think. Bought the single, got a little instrumental on it. I've made a little one rap to it, did it for the family and all of that, you know what I'm saying? And started rapping a little bit from there, but it was nothing too serious. I liked like afterwards I liked the diss track records, maybe Nas and Jay going at it was a big moment for me. And then after that I'd always listen to Westwood for the diss track hour that used to come. I don't know what day it was, Friday or Saturday or something. And in school, we used to have dubbing competitions. Obviously, when you're year 7, you're year 8, you're just dissing each other. Yeah. And there's literally, we had a league format. So
that's crazy.
We took it serious. We took it serious. And then by year 10, 11 now, you're starting to get rhyming involved with it. Most of the youths like grime at the time. So they used to do these little grime disses, and it's these real simple couplets. But where I'd been listening to rap music and rap battles on the early days of the internet, Supernatural and Juice and those type of things, I was able to come with, a little bit more of a freestyle direct, more than a little couplet, maybe 3 or 4 bars. And that's where I first ever got into battling. And that is really all it used to be. By the time you're 15, 16 and you're out and you buck someone and they spit bars as well, you drop a little 4 bars on them, they drop a little 4 bars on you. You might go 2 or 3 or 4 rounds, and that'd be it. Like, it wasn't no extensive battles. And then one day I was with the man them. We went out sides to like what I would call the white ends, with all the posh gal and whatnot. And we're there linking some gal or whatever, and some brothers roll up and they're like, "Oh, which one of you raps?" And I'm like, "Me." And they're like, "Yeah, my brother over there battles." And these time that youth there's King Jordz.
Right.
And I'm like, "Nah, I gotta go home right now, like last train and all of that shit." Like, we didn't get to kick it off that day. And the next time I buck him, me and Jordz went at it, and we went at it. We're spitting 12 bars a time. I don't remember the quality levels, but we've went a good 8-9 rounds or some shit like that. I remember it was on College Green in the centre of Bristol, and we was just going at it. And then after that, I started rolling with him a bit, and then that's when I started rapping a lot more, because it's like, if you're rolling with Jordz them time there, you're having a conversation, we're probably freestyling, or anything happens, you make any mistake, you trip up anything, you're getting 4 to 8 bars about it. And it's like, as a result of it, it isn't a hobby, it's a culture, it's a lifestyle, and like, you just grow to love it. And that's ended up being roll with Jordz for one summer, and when I'm back on Ends and BS5, if you rap and you're spitting bars somewhere, I just start clashing you. There's no making sure you want to clash, or is it cool, or then one that is literally the only restrictor is the subject matter, because this ain't Don't Flop or whatever at that point there. That's like, you might diss a man's mum, innit, and you might get slapped in your face in front of 20 people. Like, that's not, we're not even going down those ones. Man, know the youths who, okay, you're an older generation, I'm gonna diss you, but I'm gonna keep it a bit shallow. Okay, people my age, yeah, let's get down or whatever. Like, and as a result of it, and the fact that I guess I had exposure to the internet from an earlier age, I just ended up being a lot better than most of the people in my area. And it was like, yeah, I thought I was a god at that shit. And it weren't till we went to London for a few battles and buck up on people like Possessed, BA, and that lot, that I started realizing, nah, I'm just sick in Bristol and there's levels to this shit. Yeah.
And were you, was it always G-Dash, the name?
First of all, when I was about, like, say, 13 to about 16, it was Genius. And then it dropped to G-Dash, with the G being General Dash. And, yeah, later on, it's just people just call me Dash. We just left it at that, yeah.
And what was the battle scene like on the internet at that time, being aware of it? Was there anything in the UK, like, before Jump Off that you were watching? Was there overseas? You mentioned Supernat and Juice. Was that the most of it?
Yeah. So, literally, it was like you're downloading audios off Kazaa and LimeWire more
Kazaa,
than you are going on the internet. So, yeah, you're looking at it in a completely different type of way. You know, you're typing in battles. Sometimes you're getting live audio battles from... You know, these people probably ain't even famous. Fuck no, there's a battle in a club and they've just dashed it up on LimeWire, and if there's whatever list to pick out of, this is what you're hearing. There was obviously Scribble Jam, which you could watch in them days. And other than that, it would just be your odd ad hoc battle. You know, I can't even remember I feel like there's a youth named Fox 5 who battled fucking Rain Man. Yeah, like that them type of random one-off battles. You're looking at your Smack DVD battles and all sorts of, like, it's a whole different way of procuring content when it's so scattered around the place, and because there's not a lot of it, it's easy to consume all of it. Yeah.
And was your first battle on cam that was uploaded, was that Mike Assassin, or was there stuff before that?
Yeah, I think the first one that was fully uploaded was Mike Assassin still. That weren't the first battle I had with Jump Off. I had some when they did some tour and we battled in clubs over beats. And I got to the final and a youth named Jinkster from Bristol beat me on that one.
Oh, yeah. He battled Stig when you battled Mike Assassin, right?
Yeah. Stig ate him horribly.
Yeah, well. That's a good battle, that is. That's a good battle.
It wasn't a good look for, like, us, man. At the time, I told Jump Off I wanted them to put Jordz and me against Stig and Mike, and they was like, well, Jinkster won the tour thing. I was like, yeah, but fuck that, put me in Jordz. And they put me in Jinkster. I felt like Jinkster got bodied, like. But yeah, it was a good battle still.
And when you were doing that on beat thing, like, how did that work? What was the structure of that, like, in the clubs?
You literally you flip for who goes first. E raps for 1 minute over the beat, or one of you rap for 1 minute. There's 2 rounds, I think, and if it's a draw after that, you go to a overtime round, which may be 30 seconds a cappella, and the crowd decides the winner. That's how Jump Off worked. You know, them one there. So yeah.
And like BA and Possessed, was that like WRC era when they came into the frame? Were they around then, or?
Yeah, they were around, like, before WRC like kicked off. There was still the street battles, and they were around from them. And it was like, you get to see the levels, but part of it is this. You're very skeptical about who's actually freestyling and who's writing. And people write stuff to make it sound like a freestyle, so it's very difficult to distinguish at times. And, like, when you're first hearing some of the way BA structures stuff, it's all going to sound like it's written, in all honesty. Yeah. And it's not till you see him do it consistently across the course of a day, you're like, this could do this forever and still keep it at a consistent level that I couldn't attain. Like, yeah.
It was great to see you at the front of BA's return versus Tony D. Like, so much time has passed and you were still there. Like,
I still fucks with BA heavily. Like, that's properly my dude there. And he's a sick battle rapper, and he's been consistently a sick battle rapper, and he keeps himself in shape through never letting his sword get dulled. So on a random Tuesday afternoon while you're shopping in Sainsbury's, you can get a phone call from BA and he's got 16 bars or 8 bars or 4 bars aimed at you. And if you don't go back at him, you're just going to get a mockery. So fuck Sainsbury's staff. I'm going back at BA. He's been doing that to me from fucking 07 till last week type thing, yeah.
Just getting back to the Mike Assassin battle then.
When I kick bars, you know I'm ripping haters. but this is a black version of Johnny Vegas. Cause everybody knows that he's fighting this shit. It's a battling shit. Why the fuck I got to rap with this kid? Cause I spit ill bars. I will smack this whore. I will beat you so bad Scars will want to cancel the tour. Or my
low-key legend, well, a legend at the time. What are your thoughts on the battle looking back?
To be real, like I thought my delivery is a bit sloppy, but in real life, he doesn't have any hard-hitting punchlines or anything along those lines. Like, he's just got a continuous style, and on the live audience, it really has a good effect because it constantly feels like you're on the defensive. It don't matter if you've got 4 punchlines that were better than his 4 punchlines. He spat 28 bars in the time you spat 16, and it's a decent battle. Like it's an alright battle. I got no problem with it. I'm like fucking 17 years old in it or some shit. Like that's a pleasant little memory or whatever. But it isn't the highest quality shit. And Mike Assassin is very, very basic in it. Like
he is, but you really hold your own in it, as you say, and you do seem young, but you do seem kind of like, you know, quite in control of it. His onslaught is relentless, continuous. You know, you get some laughs. He dissed your jeans. How can you diss my jeans when you're rocking your granddad's trousers? It's probably
the early days
punch.
of rebuttals. We love that shit.
And it's like, you know, it's a 2005 battle because you reference Gareth Gates. Which
fuck.
You say he was stuttering more than Gareth Gates, which for our overseas listeners, he was like in Pop Idol and shit like that. So he was kind of a bit of a big figure back then. And then it comes down to a punchline round essentially to win it. You say he sounds like the guy screaming on the corner selling the big issue. He says, and I mean, this isn't really even a bar, but he wins on it. You look like one of the dudes Michael Jackson comes inside. So I mean, kind of tell you know what it is.
That was it at the time, though, innit? It was like, oh, you look like one of those guys. Fuck it, innit? That was a rap battle in 05.
Yeah, and there's a little interview at the end as well, and you say that you thought, you know, you won, and Mike Assassin sort of says that he thought you were really good, and he needs to get back on his game. He felt that he lost. So, I mean, still, to face Mike Assassin on your first proper battle, big plaudits. Yeah,
man. But it's your big first proper battle on cam. Like that, if you know what I'm saying. But like I said, I'm in battling Jordz and youths like Jinkster and them type of people on the come up, and there's no difference between Mike Assassin and them other than he's a bit more relentless. It's not like if I was to have came up against Stig that day, I think it would have been a tougher challenge. Or if I would have been up against someone like Possessed or BA, they would have been far too much for me at that age there. Like, I think it was a nice introductory battle for me to get given, in all honesty.
And the following year, you were on another legendary Jump Off event, Spin the Mic. This was 06.
I got bodied. Yeah. Still.
So this is the one that Whashiface wins in the end against BA. We sort of discussed this a few times on the show. The first guy you battle, Dragonfly, that Australian dude. What the hell was he about? Like?
He used to battle on the Jump Off Street battles quite a lot. He had like maybe 4 battles on there or something like that. I think I know he certainly battled Arkaic, but I'm sure I've seen him quite a few times, and he was just awful. But fuck knows, innit? He's just a gimmicky little Australian youth, and he tried his thing, innit?
I mean, his first thing that he does is like breathe on you, and he's like, smell my breath, that's your mom's ovaries, and he gets booed pretty much instantly.
Yeah. But I think I got booed pretty much instantly. So like it's one of them arenas there.
It's a line
if the delivery ain't on point in the Jump Off arena, you finna get booed, and they're gonna be merciless on you, and it's up to you to win them back around.
I mean, how did you get involved with that? Was it just because you were sort of had a few battles?
Yeah, because after the street battles team, it was like that was like a month after the street battle with Mike Assassin.
Right.
And they just emailed me or belled me up and said, "Yeah, come to this thing here. We'll pay for your travel." I was like, "Fuck it then." Went up there, like tried the thing. Obviously, got bodied. Kept it moving. Because Riz DMC was sick at that event there. Like he had quite a few obvious pre-written things. Yeah. But he was decent at that event there. I remember like enjoying his shit. And I think BA deserved to win. But Whashiface, he was sick as well. Yeah.
He was, and it's interesting actually because in your second battle against Whashisface, you do say that you think Riz is going to go through and win in your interview, and it's just interesting in Dragonfly's battle. I want people to go back and watch this because everyone gets slack from the crowd in these battles, but he actually starts giving it back to the crowd, and loads of people start throwing shit at him and stuff. And, like, it's crazy.
He's the best still. Like, he don't give a fuck.
No, he didn't give a fuck. And so you go on to face Whashisface, who, you know, one of the greatest to do it ever, really, especially in this sort of realm.
Says, "You fucking prick," and the crowd goes, "Ah!"
He did an impression of you as well, and that got massive reaction. Yeah.
He's too savage. His delivery's real blunt.
Yeah.
So, like, it doesn't have to be a complicated punchline. If you have a real solid, blunt delivery, then he'll just say something real matter of fact, and it'll be, ooh. Another person say the same bar, and it'll be impactless. But, like, Whashisface, he was sick, especially. I wouldn't have picked him in advance to win that at all. So the way he took advantage of his delivery was, sick.
Yeah, the simplicity, as you say, is pretty much there. It's like I'm sitting at home watching you in slow mo, which, you know, gets uproar. The R on your back isn't rock aware; it stands for rubbish, and I mean the crowd lap it up.
Yeah. It's just it was a masterclass of delivery, innit? He mastered that environment there, and he just dropped it all so savage. And how savage he's dropped it, it doesn't matter how basic it is. He slapped me up there, like indisputably slapped me up there. Sometimes you have to just take the slapping in it and learn from it, like call it conditioning or some shit.
But I guess first time for you meeting a few more MCs, like, had you seen Arkaic before? Because obviously he was there.
Yeah. I know Arkaic from long back in the day. Arkaic's like the first youth in battle rap. I know him from like 01.
Right,
we used to rap on Yahoo Messenger together.
Wow.
Used their headphones as a mic. You know those one them? Like,
Crazy.
Proper. So even that helped with my freestyling conditioning growing up, because Arkaic's another one of these youths who he'll go back and forth with you for half hour, 45 minutes if that's what you're trying to do. And the building up the conditioning and the stamina in the rap is the difference between the kids who are freestyling one good round and then 2 battles in got fuck all to say, and the people who, even when they got fuck all to say, can keep it at a decently consistent level.
And what was your hunger like at this point? You battled a few times. Obviously, we're going to get into the WRCs now. We just wanted to keep getting better.
Loving it. I was loving that shit then. Like, there wouldn't have been a battle you could have suggested that I wouldn't have traveled to London for. Like, I was proper excited for that shit. And furthermore, I think where I got overly excited, it's like no one on ends even wanted to clash me again.
Right.
I remember, like, after coming up to like 05. If you were in a club and you were rapping in the fucking garden, by that point, I was trying to have a bit of it because I was just loving it all. And like, man, they was actually saying to me, nah, just allow it, I'm not on it. Like, real serious.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to just leave these things there, like, otherwise it's going to end up being something else. And it was, I just wanted to battle anyone all the time, everywhere. Like, yeah.
So we're getting into the WRCs then. As I say, you were part of both of these tournaments, legendary tournaments. I'm actually doing something for Ruin Your Day on the history of the 07 tournament. And yeah, I'm just obsessed person. I just think it's a fantastic thing. Like, how did you find out about this? Because this is so much more than a £50 battle on the street. You know what I mean? This is a giant thing.
And I beat the best. These guys winning this battle get a better chance trying to chat up girls with their pizza breath. And I do it, blood, I spit to be best. You look like a pair of enemies off that film American History X.
And everything I wreck is hot. The only reason this brother drops is because his head looks like a Tetris block.
It was like they just put an advert on the Jump Off website, and then before I even seen that, they had sent me an email saying, want you to enter this, have you got a decent partner from Bristol, this and that. So then I've shouted them back and they said, come to London and do a battle versus TA and something like Kung Fu MC or some type of martial arts name. And this time there, like, we've got to the thing, they gave us our travel money and all that. We're waiting, an hour's gone by, 2 hours have gone by. TA's turned up without his brethren, and we've had a 2-on-1 battle. And it's put us at a significant disadvantage because the qualifying thing's supposed to be voted for by the people. And a 2-on-1 battle ain't so it's a shit battle, but it isn't as easy to freestyle at one person for 3 rounds as it is to freestyle at 2 people for 3 rounds. Like, and we've had that battle, and then it's all went through. The quality of the other people who were competing to go through was pretty shit, other than the people who got through, and it all ended up being a foregone conclusion. And then, you know, you turn up on a day, it's your first time seeing or understanding that format there. Like, so we're gonna battle each of these teams here twice today. How long is this gonna take? Like, you know, all of these type of questions are going through your head, and then you start getting into it, and then another thing becomes apparent. Some of these people are not at the same level as us. You know, Possessed and BA just were better than everyone in the UK 2006 WRCs. And it's not like you're not there on the day experiencing that from about fucking battle 2. You're still having to compete against them, and you're trying to win, and you want to win, and you have to believe you can win. And you're approaching every battle like, I'm going to win this battle. But it doesn't change from the fact that you're aware there's 2 people here who are on a level completely above me. You know, there's Truth, Stig, and Face who are on my level, and Jordz, Arkaic, and Kool-Aid and Ezra are operating on a level below. And you're jumping into these battles, and you're knowing this beforehand, every battle, that, okay, we're against BA, Zest, or even the Truth and Ezra ones. These ones are going to be fucking tough battles. When we're battling Arkaic and Kool-Aid, we're just expecting to win every time. It's that, yeah.
I mean, it's mad, isn't it, the dividing quality between the 06 and 07 entrants?
Yeah, but this is because the 06 entrants have never seen solid freestyling in that type of format to even have an idea of what they would be trying to train for. So we've had individual one-off battles against several different people but never like there is no crowd other than MCs. So there's no cheap tricks you can use in the 06 WRCs. This isn't a typical jump off stage. The other people in the room reacting to you are the MCs and their entourages. So once you've actually been able to look at and watch those battles and practice freestyling, and you understand the format, it's way easier to be a lot better the next year, because it's literally been an exogenous shock to the freestyling culture in the UK that has boosted the quality, you know, permanently from there on. Like, yeah.
I mean, the battles between you and King Jordz and Possess and Face especially, like, they are on rare form. Like, some of the name flips, G dash minus the D, just call him Gash. And, you know, Possess says you're like your trainers, half white, half black.
Half black and completely
shit.
I said something like, yeah, your mom's riding my dick like it's fucking Bristol tube. He's like, yeah, your dick's like the tube because it's dirty, grungy, and no one wants to go down there. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, for fuck's sake. And one redeeming grace, no, wait. Fuck, yeah, like, who'd you call it? Face must have said something about him. He's breathing the Air Max, and I've said, yeah, when you're breathing the Air Max, your breath smells worse than the radiation from the Chernobyl disaster or something like that. I felt like, you know, when you feel like you're getting slapped up and you land one solid punch back, and you're just puffing your chest out. Like, I don't care if I got a black eye, like, you got a little bruise there. Yeah, you take what you can.
I mean, they take all they can. Like, anything you say, they just spin into gold. Like, Jordz does this thing, like, about his, I think it's about Possessed shirt or something, and he does some mathematics stuff, and they clown on that loads, and he's like, well done, you've learned maths, you should minus this guy from your team. And, I mean, you're, like, applauding them at times, because they are just on fire.
Yeah. It's
good to see.
You know, you're watching artists work, and there's nothing you can do but appreciate the quality of it. Like the first battle, I thought we could have even went extra time or whatnot. I didn't think we win in extra time, but I thought we could have even went it. But in real life, I understand how they just ended up getting straight murders, because the consistency of their fire is just a lot to deal with. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Possess bigs you up, actually, in the interview after the first battle, which is good to see. And he says that he's glad to be part of history. And he's like, you don't hear me saying something good often, so you should loop that. And I don't know if you remember, but they actually loop the video. It's quite a weird thing that they do. Like, it's quite a cute little, you know, I don't think many people have even got to the end of this 7,000 view battle. But yeah, they're so good. And, like, I mean, the day as a whole, a pretty grueling experience. Like, how long were you there for? Was it like 12 hours or something like that?
Yeah, 10 hours or 12 hours, man. Jesus. Like, our coach home was at like 10 p.m. and the day didn't finish till like 9:40, and we're literally rushing, and London's like shit for traffic. You know, we get there like 3 minutes to spare or some shit like that. Like, Yeah, it was a long ass fucking day. I think we had one fucking meal all day or some shit. It was some slave conditions, to be honest. But yeah, it was a good experience still.
So there were 8 battles, and you won 3 and lost 5. I think that was the record.
Yeah, it could have been. So I guess that means that one of the times Truth and Ezra beat us.
Right.
Yeah, then if that's the case, that's the case. I know we straight murdered them the second time, I think, because I think we finished third or whatever. But yeah, it was a case of against BA and Stig. You know, the first time we had a proper solid chance, but once it got to overtime, they were too much. The second time, they just battered us. Possessed and Face battered us both times. Arkaic and Kool-Aid's, like, it was a decent matchup. I think we went overtime one of the times, but you know, I'd be expecting to beat them, and then it comes down to Truth and Ezra, and I guess they were a very similarly leveled, skilled team to us.
I mean, yeah, and in the second battle as well, you call like Face King Kong or something, and then Zess flips it like, yeah, he is King Kong. He's snatching your white mom.
Yeah,
just really impressive shit. Like,
yeah, fuck it, yeah, just Possessed is too much, and he's too much.
Yeah, yeah. And so, you know, it moves forward then. Like, obviously, I'm guessing you watched the Vegas finals, the 06 finals. Like, it was so cool to see them go out there, Zest and Face.
Yeah. I watched it, and obviously, by that point, we've seen all of Ilmac and Thesaurus' footage online as well. And it's like they're going out there, and Thesaurus and Ilmac are just the heavy favourites, because Thesaurus and Ilmac are both operating at Possess level. And obviously Face is better than the rest of us in the UK for the most part, but he ain't on the top level of it all. So it is just Possessed and Face are at a disadvantage. But yeah, I think they gave it a proper solid shot out there. And I don't know, I think even the final result ended up being quite controversial.
Yeah, I think they gave them a run for their money. Absolutely. I just Saurus and Ilmac were a little bit more together, perhaps, and they were more in their comfort zone as well. But that setting on that Vegas roof, it's just so badass.
Yeah. That's the perfect place to have those battles there. Like it is proper iconic the way in which they set it up, and that was the way it was intended to be. So yeah.
And did you feel when you heard about the 2007 tournament, you guys just had to be part of it again?
Like, I thought we probably would be part of it again now, and then I've been excited about it. Jordz has been very nonchalant about it. I remember, like, summer 07, starting from about June, I've started shouting him, like, 2 to 3 times a week. Like, can we practice freestyling? And during this period of time, I think he was more interested in making money and smoking weed than he was in freestyling. So that was a slog of a fucking summer to get any practice in. I think we ended up having 3 1-hour sessions, as opposed to the year before we had been freestyling 24/7 every single day, if you know what I'm saying. And I did most of my practicing that year on my own. So I felt less prepared on the day than I was hoping to have been. But essentially, as soon as you hear that Possessed and BA ain't going to be a part of it, it's like, well, we have to go in, because how can we not win?
You can predict my line, but I keep it hot like ginger root, and I've disgraced your family's name when I fucked your Asian mum while she was rocking the ninja suit.
And I'm straight hitting them faster. Someone's ringing me. Hold up, I'm just killing some bastard. And you know there's no way you can spit, because I'll leave you partially dead. Fuck a punch up, palm your head till you see alarm in red. I got a nice stick, that's what your auntie said.
Enter So and Arkaic are in the tournament. Was this the first? Did you know him as Scudsy, or did you know him as
Just man. I never heard of the youth before in my life. I seen him on one interview shouting out Jordz, I think, and that was it. Like, he had when he did the qualifier, I guess, for the 2007 WRC. So yeah, that was the first I'd heard of him.
And what happened there, like Arkaic and Kool-Aid? Do you know where they split? So Kool-Aid is still in the tournament with split semis in 07.
Like, that's fucking Arkaic's business right there.
Right.
The two of them have been shiesty. Depending on which you speak to, the other one's been shiesty. But something's gone down there for sure, yeah. Like, they barely even like each other by that day there, in fact. If you actually look at Arkaic's fucking facial expression in the 2007 WRCs, like, the youth got something wrong with him, innit?
Right. And we're in an art gallery basement the whole tournament takes. Like wild style, was it?
Yeah, and it was hot as shit in there. Beating summer's day, no ventilation, too many people in the room, sweating.
And like people all over the world are watching these videos as they're getting uploaded over a number of weeks. Like
because it weren't getting uploaded on YouTube.
Yeah, it was on the website, right?
Called Bright Cove.
Right.
And it was like it was an early competitor to YouTube, and at the time it allowed you to have higher quality audio and video files. So the videos were much higher definition and bigger than the early YouTube uploads were, and it was getting mad views. Like I remember on my MySpace getting messages from fucking UK rappers who man grew up listening to, and they're like, "Yeah, you lot are sick in this shit." As the battles are getting released week by week, you get little messages from fucking different people in the fucking scene. Yeah, we should do a track. And I say, yeah. Talking shit. Ain't no one gonna shout no one back, but it's nice at the time,
And the battle I want to focus on then, in particular, between you and Arkaic and the final battle, the one that it all comes down to in week 10. I mean, this is a great 2-on-2 clash. Like, what are your memories from this one?
Yeah, that was a sick fucking clash. I remember the first round being close as hell. Then personally, I don't think our second round could have fucking went better than it went.
Yeah, like that convertible mini line looks ugly with the top off.
I don't know what the fuck got into you. You shouldn't have been bigging my partner up in the qualifiers interview. And what is it? Yeah, I fucked your Asian mom while she was rocking the ninja suit. Like, yeah, that was savage at the time. It's absurd and it's silly, but your mom looks ugly with the top off like convertible minis.
Let's go.
And then Jordz jumps in, I'm the true king. So if you come close, Hadouken. Like, that's the type of shit I like. Energetic, it's fire. Fuck. I don't give a shit about punchline sometimes. Like, it's not always about a punchline. It's about the delivery, the energy, what you're doing to your opponent in that little field there. And yeah, that's one of my greatest freestyle memories right there. That round there couldn't have went better still.
Yeah, the energy is fantastic, as you say. And and Ark undeniably bring it, though. Like, they are a really good team from the go.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And they're quite a consistent team.
They are.
Like, for the most part, I didn't feel like their punchlines necessarily hit as hard. But, like, they just have a consistency in every battle that me and Jordz did not have in every battle. So yeah, you're working with different attributes in your skill set.
So as the battle moves on, then we have the 3 rounds. Inevitably, we go to OT, and then we go to a punchline round. And then
I thought we won OT, to be honest. Like, my memory of it is I remember thinking, yeah, we got this wrapped up in OT. And Jordz was like, nah, we're going punchlines. I don't think we are still. But yeah. So we went to the punchline rounds.
It goes to the punchline rounds, and then it goes into like an extra minute round after that, which I've never really seen before. I've watched a hell of a lot of WRC battles. That's a rare failsafe.
Right. What it was, I think, according to what Pro Green told us on the day, is we won a 3-2 decision. But because of it was the winner of this battle was going to be representing the UK and NY, they didn't feel like that should be decided on a 3-2 decision on the final battle when teams have the same amount of points. So they went to an extra round. And in the extra round, I don't think Arkaic and Eurgh had anything, and I don't think we had anything either. So it was just, it was a poorer end to the battle than it could have been. But yeah, like, I had no problem with the way it all went down and all that, to be real.
Yeah, and when we get to the punchline round, there's clearly something Arkaic was saving for a moment like this. WRCs, we get the W, they get RC. It's quite nice.
I thought it was awful. I thought it was absolutely awful. The only person who reacted was fucking Arkaic, was bruh.
Yeah.
And it was
he does.
Such a dead pre-written at the end of such a sick battle. I thought it was genuinely weird. I thought that lost at me.
Right.
Yeah, like, but obviously it went down like that. But yeah, I thought it was genuinely awful. Just the corniness of the delivery didn't help. But like, we all have bad moments in these fucking freestyle battles, and you're not necessarily knowing how people are gonna react to shit.
And, how did it feel afterwards? Because we don't really get to see any aftermath. Like, it'd been such a close contest, and it'd been such a long day as well, building up to it. And it's an incredible prize. Like, you must have been gutted.
To be honest, I don't really think we cared that much. I think we were buzzing.
Yeah,
We had an absolutely sick day. Like we narrowly lost. Like it was a bit of an inconvenience not to go to America and represent the UK. But to be honest, with the amount of fucking preparation we did for that, what was the probability of getting Jordz to do some decent fucking prep? Yeah. Those ones, like we weren't the type of team who would have been well adept to having decent amounts of written material to be, supplementing our freestyles with, just because of fuck knows why. But we weren't that type of team in general. So it was like, I think Arkaic and Eurgh did a better job of representing out there than we would have been able to do. Yeah.
So, I mean, and when they went over there as well, classic shit, they faced Zealy and Franchise, first of all.
Yeah, and that was a sick battle.
That was a great set of battle. Like, I mean, that whole tournament over there, timeless, right?
Yeah, because Franchise, at the time, he's one of the best freestylers out there, about anywhere.
He was dope.
So, it was like, that wasn't a foregone conclusion. Obviously, Zealy was operating at a lower level, but it wasn't a foregone conclusion to be winning that. And then they went up against Frankie Waps and Jay's Juice.
Yeah.
And
questionable.
To be real, I think I gave it to Frankie Waps and Jay's Juice.
Right.
I don't remember what about it was. Their style, I can't tell if they've written everything is the main problem with their fucking style. But other than that, it is quite continuous and funny and witty, and it's like, battle raps can come down to style sometimes. It's not always who's better. This is why Shovel T and Marlowe are so hard to beat. As styles wise, they're just not easy to come at. And I think Frankie Waps and Jay's Juice at that time weren't tremendously easy to come at, and that's how they've managed to get away, sneak the wins in or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. You can only fake it for so long, though. I mean, when they went through to Battlesaurus and Ilmac, it was kind of
the quality difference not showing. Yeah. But up until then, it was decent.
And after when Eurgh comes back, then Jump Off a Cunt's whole saga sort of sparks the need for judging. Eventually leads to Don't Flop. Like, were you in those early stages? Were you hollered to battle on Don't Flop? Like, what do you remember about the early days?
Like, I remember this. I remember hollering me to battle at some point. I don't know what year this is, right? But how I've got introduced to Don't Flop is not through Eurgh. Right. I've been on Call of Duty 5 World at War with Jordz at about 3 a.m. on a fucking Monday morning, battering the shit out of two youths on the other team, playing team deathmatch. Absolutely loving it now. I'm telling you, I've got a message like, "Are you Jordz and Dash as in Dash and Jordz?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So we've all jumped in a party together, and his Sensor and his brethren Jamie. Right. And they're saying, "Yeah, we watch rap battles. You lot was sick. Don't Flop do these new rap battle things now. Eurgh set it up. There's a battle with me and Kruger online, this and that." And that's how I've heard a fucking Don't
That's
Flop
crazy.
From playing World at War at fucking 3 a.m. on a fucking Monday. Yeah. And I went online, checked it out, and then after that, like, I've checked out a couple things. Don't Flop have came to Bristol. Kruger battled some guy called Rough Styles. Yeah. And Odie and Unanimous battled. The Tenchu battle that day, I can't even remember, but yeah, there was a couple battles that day there. And boom, from then on I started fucking with Don't Flop a bit.
The only video that seems to be of you sort of on Don't Flop performing, I don't know if you remember this, it's a cypher in Bristol around July, like Yunan's there, Tenchu, Psychosis Holocaust.
That was when Don't Flop came to Bristol the second time, and Psychosis Holocaust battled Crazy. And then boom, I think it might have even been Crazy who did the cypher, or maybe it was a Don't Flop cypher, fuck knows. But I remember that. I do remember that still. I remember that day there. I think Tenchu was down that day as well. I don't know why I keep remembering Tenchu being around the fucking place, but yeah, I feel like Tenchu was down there that day as well.
As we always do with the show, we open up to questions on the Facebook, on the Twitter. Pamphlet asking, why didn't you transition to written battles?
Right, what it was is there was a brief period of time near the beginning where I was open to it. But then after that, I started becoming busy with life and jobs and shit like this. And it had been advised to me in a conversation, I'm not allowed to just be over the internet saying all sorts of fucking profanities. Sure. So this is like at a certain period of time. And by the time I'm 23, it's like I've dropped out of the working world and all of that. And I've followed my dreams as a professional gambler. Fuck paying tax and all the rest of that business there at that point there. So then it's like Iroha was gonna come back in at some point around there. I think it was around the time Agent came back. So I think it might have been 2012 or 2013. And Eurgh said to me, "Who do you want?" And I said, "I want Nishi." And he's like, "All right, set it up." And I was like, "Boom. Well, you got to get back to me in like a 4-week window, because otherwise I'm just gonna commit myself to other shit." So 4 weeks go by. I think I hollered Eurgh, didn't get a response, left it at that, and that was it. By that point there, I was too busy in my new life as a fucking professional gambler and all of that. And what it is when you've lived battle rap like I have before on my come up, it isn't something you're just gonna jump back into and do a little one-off performance for the sake of doing it. Because I've known what it's been like to be hungry and involved in battle rap, and it's like, for a brief little bit, there was the potential of having some of that hunger back, but I wouldn't jump back in without being hungry, because there's no fucking point of it at all. This is what a lot of battle rappers end up being out of touch and having super shit performances and all of that, because without the hunger involved, you're lacking the even will to figure out and fairly judge how you're standing against a new benchmark as opposed to the benchmark you were against at a different time.
And as Don't Flop was growing then, beyond the Cypher that we mentioned in 2010, when we get to sort of the Blizzard era, the Luna era, Grist and that sort of stuff, were you going to events regularly? Were you seeing it sort of blow up from the inside, or?
Yeah, I think I was attending, like, by Blood in the Water 4, I was attending most big events. And, like, even when it was first blowing up 2012, 2013 type of times and it first started to get big, there was a few times I hollered at Eurgh and tried to say, yeah, if you can organize this battler to come over, I'll pay for the plane ticket and shit like that. Because I wanted UK battle rap to step up to that next level. I enjoy attending these big events, seeing world-class quality rap battles, a variety of different styles and the development of the scene. Yeah, all of that good shit. So I think when Chiller versus JC came out, I was like, before the U even got a ego or a high fee or anything, I said to Eurgh, go get him over. I'll pay for the plane ticket, make him battle Tony D. That'll be a sick battle.
Yeah.
And it was like, I had a few ideas like that, and I had P ready to throw at that type of shit just for the sake of it, because that's the type of fuckery I wanted to see. But yeah, it didn't really end up happening like that, but I definitely seen it will grow from the inside. And
are there any? I mean, it's great that you were putting money towards it. Are there any battles that you did fund that we might know about, or?
Yeah, just a big Cannon versus Tenchu.
Oh, sick! What a battle!
I paid for Cannon to fly over.
Oh, that's awesome!
And it was at that time it was like, and I still hold Tenchu and BA deserve to have a grudge battle to the death, freestyling 4-minute rounds, fuck knows, whatever. Yeah, but like at that time, Tenchu was what I had seen, one of the best freestylers I'd ever seen. I was astounded by the way in which he would throw in his freestyles with his written raps. It was like the way he did it so seamlessly was proper, like, amazing for me. So I thought, can he really do this against different caliber and styles of opponents then? So I've watched Big Cannon versus Young Cannon. This might have been like September 2012 or whatever. Yeah. 6 months before the battle happened. I've watched it, and on that same day I've been betting on Chicago Bulls versus some other fucking basketball team. I had a big hit pay off and made about $4,000 and just hollered at Eurgh, said, yeah, get this Big Cannon guy over from Chicago Battlegrounds. Like, I was feeling Chicago that day. Like, and it all happened, and he came over, and I remember saying to Tenchu, like, to be real, I'm not even sure you can win this. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do. And he looked at me like, really? Is this how you set up the thing for me to lose? It weren't like that. I wanted to see him win. I just didn't understand after watching Big Cannon versus Young Cannon, what are you supposed to do when someone's coming at you like that? And then Tenchu showed you exactly what you're supposed to do. Slapped him up or whatever, and I'll forever had a great memory there.
Yeah, man. You contributed to a legendary clash. Like, and what about, like, as Don't Flop became viral? Was on Channel 4 and all that sort of stuff. It's insane to see how much it grew.
Yeah, but like I didn't personally give a fuck about any of that.
Yeah.
Like for me, the highlights of Don't Flop is more Shorty versus Arsenal than most prob getting 3 million Facebook views from proposing to his girlfriend in a battle. Like
right.
I personally actively disliked the really trying hard to go viral era of Don't Flop.
Okay.
It was turning the craft and the sport and the culture I love into like just a little money spinner for some attention. And I understood the marketing strategy behind it, so I wouldn't have complained about it. But like personally, yeah, I didn't enjoy that shit at all. I was just enjoying the, Shorty versus Arsenal, Tony D versus O'Shea, fourth birthday weekend style events that were being thrown, and they're allowed to do whatever fuckery they want in the background and alongside it to continue with these marquee high quality events.
And what are your thoughts on battlers that sort of play with the format, with the stereotypes like, say, Shufflo, Ogmios, Harry Baker, those sort of people?
Like, what you just called there, playing with the format, was what we just called having your own style. Like, in that case there, because if you notice, look, in the WRCs, it ain't like Jordz got a style like Truth or me.
Yeah.
Or it ain't like me or BA have a style like Possess. We all have our own styles. And equally and oppositely, you can have a style like, say, Spit Semis had. But just because Spit Semis wasn't world class at his style, it doesn't mean if someone's world class at that style, that style is any lesser of an art or an effective fucking style to run with. So yeah, when I first seen I've watched Marlowe's debut. He's battled a guy called Josh
Fox in Birmingham. Yeah.
Agents battled that same day versus Cystic, yeah. And them days they're like, at the time he's done that Peterborough scheme about it's a nice little hamlet that my man should be really, really fucking proud to come from. And I remember saying straight to Bagnall that day, this shooter is sick. Yeah. Bagnall was like, yeah, but he can't do that type of stuff there again. And I was like, but he can ride with that same quality again. And Bagnall was like, oh yeah. Because it's like you could almost get caught up into thinking that was a gimmick there. And forget the technical prowess that has been demonstrated. So I got no problem with Ogmioff having his own little style. It's no different to me than Villain having an overly technical style. And Marlowe or Shuffle T having a fucking funny style is no different to me than BA having a jokey style, but with a bit more of an aggressive slant on it. Like, it isn't your style that you're being judged on. It's the quality of the battle rap you put before me. There may be styles I'm predisposed towards liking and rounds that I may rewatch that I think lost, and I wouldn't rewatch the fucking winning round because of it wasn't as rewatchable for me. But I don't have a problem with anybody having their slant or take on battle rap. I'm not one of these excluders. Like I had one youth say to me something about even speaking to you on this show here about something, I guess, implying some type of white middle class culture divide in the fucking scene or whatnot. Like, I personally don't give a fuck about any of that. Battle rap is for the people. All power to all the people.
Yeah. And you talk about judging then and decisions. Like, you used to judge a lot. Am I imagining that? I used to see you a lot at the end of videos, giving your thoughts and stuff.
Yeah, like basically every battle that was being judged at an event I was at, they would just ask me to judge, and I would judge near enough, all the videos that they asked me to judge. There was a few occasions I wouldn't be judging against Crazy, for example, from Bristol, because I fucks with that youth there. So I'm not trying to watch that battle unbiasedly, and it's going to detract from my good time if I have to watch it unbiasedly. I'm only trying to root for Crazy and hate everybody else's shit. So I just don't want to judge the battle. But yeah, I used to judge a lot of the battles, and more bizarrely, it was like I judged almost every battle up to a point, and then there was one battle I really did want to judge, and I didn't get to judge it, and that was fucking Tony D versus O'Shea, and I'm glad I didn't judge it. I'm real glad, because on the day live, O'Shea wins that battle. I don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah.
O'Shea just wins.
I've got O'Sh winning definitely still, yeah.
But Tone makes such a legendary champ that I'm glad I didn't judge that battle, because it came down to one vote, and it would have been me instead of Genesis Elijah, and Genesis Elijah voted for Tony. So I'm glad that happened. Like, yeah.
And what was your method in judging? Did you make notes on the phone? Was it all mental? Like,
it's all mental, right? And it's like people love this rounds thing, and I like the rounds thing, and I understand it, and I use it often to break it down to a viewer when you're explaining it, because you have to keep your breakdown understandable. But in real life, battles are more like a momentum thing. Think more like a boxing match, like, rather than just, or even a football match where if someone bangs 4 goals in the last 3 minutes of a game, it's a lot to contend with unless you've had a really good first 87 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm judging it based on the quality of the punchlines and the rounds. You're getting plus points for good parts. You're getting super plus points for haymakers, because one haymaker is better than 4 little punches. But crucially, what I'm doing, what I noticed a lot of the other judges don't seem to do, is if you have shit parts to your round, I take points off. Like, I'm not here to listen to you drop fucking random shit filler and devalue the quality of your material. I'm here to penalize that in the event that you do it. And yeah, it just is what it is. So I just judge it based on a feel, but you obviously the feel is based on substantive things. Like, yeah.
And going forward, then the UK scene has fragmented considerably. Don't Flop is still around, but in a much different guise. Like, what do you think about chalked out premier battles? These sort of ideas.
Code Red battles was sick.
Code Red, yep.
Yeah, the event they had with Gemini and Shocks was fucking sick.
Yeah, next in line 3, yeah.
And it's a pity that one's over.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think they're doing anything anymore. Chalked out has been decent. I went to 2 chalked out events, I think. I don't remember liking the venue, but overall the event was decent. I can't remember the fucking name of the venue. Maybe it's Concrete Space,
probably.
Yeah, I think it was. But I've been enjoying I've been enjoying the fucking fact we're still getting to see international battlers come to the UK, which I didn't think we would continue to see when Don't Flop started falling to pieces. So it isn't as organized or sick as UK battle rap in its heyday, but UK battle rap has a dedicated following. So they're putting on good quality events and they're selling pay-per-views and selling out the venues or whatnot. And yeah, I'm finna enjoy whatever shape or form I can get my good quality battle rap content in. Yeah.
Is there anyone new in the last few years that you're really a fan of?
I guess not particularly. Like, Gemini was the last superstar to come through.
Incredible.
After his debut battle, I remember thinking Rules was going to be the next Jesus Christ.
Yeah, against Distract, yeah.
Yeah, but it come like it was an illusion, the walking on water business. Yeah. But yeah, he definitely had proper solid potential. But it definitely comes like the UK scene stopped producing the top level of, exciting performer. Like, don't get me twisted. I think the Ute name Maverick is decently sick. And like there's a couple others on that level, but it's not on the BA level or what I consider the top levels of these fucking UK battle rap shit. Yeah.
All right, well, we'll close up with a few quickfire questions. The first of which, G-Dash, what's your favourite Don't Flop battle?
That's a fucking tough one there.
It's a hard one.
It's gonna go between Soul versus C Major, Shotty versus Arsenal, and BA versus Tony. It's between
picks.
Those 3.
Those are fucking sick picks. Yeah, they're all classics. What about King of the Dot?
King of the Dot, Hollow Ham versus Pat Stay.
Come on.
Like at the time, that's one of them iconic moments in the fucking culture. You get me? Like, you mad right now? No, you fucking smoking crack through the same Pepsi cans. Like, yeah.
What about URL?
All right, URL. We're gonna have to just call that like the smack style battles because it's a tough pick. Again, it's gonna be between 3, but one of them was on Battle America. It weren't on URL.
Oh, I know which one you're gonna pick up from that.
Yeah, so it's T-Rex versus Young Ill. That was just a proper
one rounder. It's like
battle. Yeah, one rounder. It set the level for one rounders in battle rap. So in 2012 or 13, whatever year it came out. Hollow versus Big T is the other massive one. And then 1 month after, T-Rex versus Young Ill came out. And I thought that year couldn't get any better for battle rap. Big T versus Sue Surf came out. And that's a fucking crazy
Love that battle.
Yeah.
That's still fucking classic. Final 2 questions. First, what's your favourite film?
My favourite film?
Yeah.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that's a sick film with Tom Cruise. Yeah.
Yeah. That one on Money Talks still. Like, Money Talks is the film I've watched most in my life. Yeah. But Edge of Tomorrow is probably my favorite film.
Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow is a good pick. That's fire. What about your favorite musical band or artists that are in no way hip hop related?
Bloodfire.
Bloodfire.
I go with Movado.
Okay, not heard of Movado.
He's a dancehall artist, man.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, I guess finally, how do people get at you? Your music, social media, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, just don't, innit? Like, I'm hella anti. Are
there any tracks out there people can listen to? Or?
Yeah, but I'm not linking anyone to them. Like, once again, I'm anti. They're there on the internet for my perusal only.
Right. Well, this has been great, man. Again, people, go check out all the stuff we've spoken about, all the G-Dash battles, all the WRC battles, Spin the Mic, that sort of stuff. You can follow the show at battlerapresume, get at me, battlerapresume@gmail.com, comment down below, subscribe, check out the archive, Patreon, iTunes, all that sort of stuff. G-Dash, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for coming on, man.
All right, blessings, Tom, yeah?